United boys. We're going to bring in B-Man. We're going to bring in DR, Pavs behind the scenes as well. But what a mad day for Man United, KJ.
Yo, honestly, it was crazy. I'm gonna be brief because I've got to go and do other things. But what I saw today was the mental fortitude, the mental fortitude of this team. And before I start praising the team, I want to say something a bit controversial. I am vexed at Casemiro, but I'm equally as vexed at Antony because he did not need to go over, run up a hill, and barge man and cause a brawl. No one's saying that Casemiro should have been holding man by the neck. He shouldn't be doing that, and he's stupid, absolutely stupid for doing that in the first place. You've got so many different parts of the body you can hold man off wide the neck. But that all happened because Antony was a hothead, lost his head, and went back into a player who knocked him down. If he just stayed down on the hill, the ref would have came over, book schlup, and the game keeps going. We've got 10 men, 11 men on the field. But man has to lose his head. We need to stop doing these things. Like Antony needs to relax himself. He had time. He had flipping time to stand up before we run up the hill. Be like, is this a smart thing to do? He had time to do that. So people saying, they mind it. It's not Antony's fault. He had to do it because he got barged. I don't care, man. There's things that you don't need to do. Being a hothead is not one of them. So shoot me, but you didn't need to do that.
So I agree. It was stupid. But if I throw out this argument to you, Man United, when we were at our best, we had players like Wayne Rooney that did dumb things, Cantona that did dumb things. There is an argument that fight and passion that sometimes spills over into stupidity is also what creates a team spirit that helps you win games. So I totally agree. It was dumb. At the same time, like remember back at that Liverpool game where like you had him and you had like people like barging Mo Salah and doing all these matters. We loved it. And I think for me, you've got to get the balance right. I think what is frustrating about it though is I didn't see it in real time. Seeing IU grab and
yeah, again, and that just goes back to the consistency of VAR and the refs and what they want to do. But what the most important thing is from there. Yes, we conceded the goal. It's fair enough. We just lost to one of your best DMs, but we went on and we stood our ground. We stood our ground. We was mentally strong. Defense was flawless. Sabitzer came on, amazing. Literally, for the situation he came on for his debut, he did brilliantly. Fred stepped up when he was high pressing. He was brilliant. Luke Shaw again, brilliant, great assist. Rashford did good as well. I'm just happy that these guys stepped up. And what I was vexed about in the Arsenal game, what I was vexed about in the first Crystal Palace game was these things happening and we didn't step up to the plate. Today we did. I'm happy with the win. Ten Hag and these players are building something. And even though we may not have Casemiro for the Carabao Cup final, I still believe in these guys to step up, especially with someone like Sabitzer can come in now and fill in. It's going to be a brilliant chance to win the trophy. But yeah, well done, Man United. Beautiful win. Antony, I love you. Relax your head. You know what I mean? And yeah, we keep going, man. We keep going. And Tom, cheer up, my brother. You're going to get Bellingham in the summer, innit? It's all good, my brother. It's all good. New owners, Bellingham, happy days. Clap in.
That's a very different way of saying James won a new contract. But hey, no.
What did you make of today, Dizzy? Like, I mean, because obviously KJ, they're not happy with the players for getting themselves sent off, which we get. But aside from that, because we've all spoke about the red card, how happy were you with Man United's reaction? Whoa. How happy were you with our perseverance? How happy were you with that kind of fight to make sure we won?
First, before we get to the red card, you know what's hilarious? The first half was so comfortable. I had time to cut my hair. That's what I was on in the first half. It was super light. I took time to do the back and all sorts, right? And then we made a game out of a non-event, essentially. Because we were cruising, we were comfortable. They didn't have a chance, really, when all of our players were on the pitch. And then, obviously, the red card happens. KJ's pissed. But you know what? The way I look at it is we've asked for so long for these players to fight for each other, to fight for the badge, and not to leave a man in the middle of a brawl, essentially. Like I think it was the Liverpool game. Somebody was trying to fight Ronaldo, and it was him and Bruno, and that was it. And everybody was like, "Where are the rest of the players?" Hannibal. Sorry, yeah, exactly. And so now we find ourselves in a place where they are fighting for each other. We do look comfortable. We play better more often than we don't play good. We're winning more games than we're drawing or losing. We're in a comfortable position in the league. I think you can't be mad at it. I think it was a moment of it was a moment of passion that got a little bit out of hand, and your hands are going everywhere. It could have been any one of them to get sent off, really. But I'm happy, to be honest.
Yeah, listen, I think look, we'll tackle Casemiro not being available when that happens. You know,
Yeah.
on Wednesday night when we play Leeds, we'll think about it then. For today, we held on to those 3 points, and of course, there's a certain player, 27 goal contributions this year, 15 in his last 13 games, the most informed forward in Europe. Of course, he's doing it in the hardest league in Europe, which is the Premier League. Marcus Rashford, and another poacher's goal. I mean, the goal was identical to the one against City, and that's what I'm loving about Rashford right now. Rashford is scoring similar goals all the time. You know, since the World Cup, he has scored 2 or 3 goals where he's dribbled through 2 or 3 people, or there's been 1-2s that will play him into the box. He scored 2 or 3 goals where the ball just gets played across the 6-yard box and he's tapping it in. He's always in the right place. And what I love about him is that he had a few shots in the game, didn't quite come off, but he keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And that mental strength is what that celebration is all about. It's about, I'm not losing my head anymore. I'm not losing my confidence anymore. And Rashford, for me right now, it's going to be hard because Arsenal or City are going to win the league. But right now, he's tracking towards being player of the season. That is how good. I mean, if this form continues for the rest of the year, there is a genuine case for him to be maybe not the Premier League player of the year, because that's about one competition, but the football writers or the LMA player of the year. If United win trophies and this guy keeps scoring like this, they always say the second half of the season is the hardest part of the season. And Haaland at the moment in the business end isn't delivering. If Rashford keeps this going, United will 1 win trophies, 2 will get back in the Champions League, and he's going to break records for an inside forward at Man United. And for me, I'm very, very excited about how good he is right now. He's just devastating, and I'm very proud of him, proud of Bruno, proud of the team. Martinez at the back, and the crazy bit is we're looking at young Tom down there. The way Man United are right now, and the way Liverpool are just polar opposites. But this time last year, we were polar opposites in the other directions, and that's how you know. Part of it is Liverpool aging out, but there is a determination, a dedication that is gone now from Liverpool. It's finished now from Liverpool.
What's going on, man? Hey, Terry, do you remember last year? We were Liverpool last year at this time. How the tables have turned. Oh, my God. You, man, are committing all sorts of haram at the minute, man, at your club. Oh, my God. Like, you're probably playing worse than when we were last year. Like, I don't even understand how your downfall, like, gradually become this bad. Like, after competing for 4 different trophies, and now you're, like, in the pits. It's fucking hilarious, mate. But it's all right. You're going to get Mateus Nunes and Bellingham in the summer, so it's all good, man. You got something to cheer about.
No, we're not.
And that's all I heard for the last 4 or 5 months, bro. Bellingham and Mateus Nunes. It's all right. You're going to get them. Don't worry. It's all good. Now, on the United game, mate, I was begging for Antony to come off before that incident happened. I was like, oh, this is a good time to take him off, get Sancho on, get Sabitzer on. And the thing is, this isn't the first time he's kicked out. I've seen it in a few games now. If someone goes in on him, the man's hot-headed. And I'm surprised that none of the players clock onto it, because he does go up to players and tries to start beef with them. But today was just some next level of, like, bullshit. And I don't get the VAR. If you're focusing on Casemiro, what he's doing, why isn't no one looking at Ayew, bruv? It's bang in the middle there. The man's literally trying to choke him out. Like, the man thinks he's like Mankind putting a sock down his mouth or something. What's going on? I don't get it. Like, I don't think we're going to appeal it. And even if we did, I think the FA, the way it's going since that milk dud Howard Webb's come back in, the officiating's gone to, like, crap. It's literally at the lowest point. Nothing's changing. I saw him yesterday talking with Carragher and that, just speaking a load of crap. The referees, even with the Rashford the penalty that we got, they were looking for anything to try and not give it to us. Like, ever since Rashford's offside stuff, like, we've been having a lot of decisions going not our way, and I was surprised. I was just surprised. Like, as soon as I saw that Casemiro thing, I was like, yeah, he's gone. They're not gonna give him a yellow or nothing. He was coming off, but someone needs to keep Antony in check, man. Like, Ten Hag needs to sit him down, because it's not the first time. The man's starting beef with a lot of players. Like, if you're getting pushed, bro, it's football. You're gonna get pushed about. People are gonna kick out at you. Like, you need to keep a calm head. And some of the players need to keep him in check as well, man, because stuff like this, it could cost us points. And I don't want to be dropping points. We're in a good position. Like, the teams behind us are not really playing that great. Tottenham ain't going to do nothing. And I don't want to be dropping points and letting other teams catch up to us. We already lost 2 points to Palace before. And it could have happened again today because that Elise, he was whipping in balls, bruv, and I was scared. When he was just like, I was like, oh my God, is it going to happen again?
That last, like, when they said 7 minutes of time added on, obviously, like, I'm watching on Sky Go in my office, not on the TV. So you're always about a minute behind. So I have live score on, which gives me updates about 30 seconds before the TV does. So I obviously want to get my overlays ready, thumbnails ready. And I literally had titles for if we drew, titles for if we won, titles for if we lost. And I'm sitting there stressed. I do get what you're saying about people need to keep him in check. I do hear you on that. At the same time, I don't mind what he did, but it's about everybody else. It's about game management. So doing that would have been perfect if Casemiro doesn't grab man by the neck, because all it really did, because they wouldn't have added all that time on. The time added on was for the VAR, checking whether or not it was a red card. Doing that stuff when you're winning 2-0 is perfect to a degree, but you've got to do it in a way where you're actually cool. You look angry, but you're keeping your cool, and no one's going to do nothing stupid. The problem you had is Casemiro putting your hands anywhere near that throat, because I agree with you. These referees and VAR in the Premier League right now, there's something. I think with Man United, they were scared of us with Fergie, so they would give us all the right decisions, and the occasional poor decision would go our way. I think there's an element with us not winning anything properly for a decade. There's like we can stick it on United. I think they're scared of Pep. I think they're scared of Klopp. You know,
and the thing is, like, there's a lot of
the way they're going at Arsenal. It's because they're not intimidated yet by Arsenal or Arteta. So it's almost like, like bullies in school who they pick on. At the moment, the referees are still they're trying to bully some of the big teams, intimidated by, and that's why we need that's why Arsenal got to do it. But from a United point of view, our manager needs to come out with some facts. So I wouldn't mind him in a press conference sitting there and saying, why are these things not red cards, but this is? Why was this player not given a red card for grabbing our player around the neck? Why are these not penalties? I'd be saying, I'd do it in a press conference. I want a full explanation from the PLOM or whatever the fuck they're called. I want a full explanation as to why that wasn't given. I don't care about what you've given. I need to understand the rationale. He's got to now call them out, because that is what Jurgen Klopp did to us 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as he did it, we stopped getting penalties. So we've got to do it in reverse now. You have to do it. You actually have to. You do it. But someone said he said it in an interview. Cool. I'm talking. Come out in a press conference with video evidence. Make the referees and the Premier League look stupid by saying, why did this guy get a red card? Why for this, but not taking someone out for a season? Why is this throat grab a red card and this one isn't? Ask them to explain it. Make it headline news. Yeah, you'll get belittled by rivals saying you're whinging and you're moaning. Forget them. You've got to put pressure on the people making decisions. Have to.
And that's why refs kind of was scared of Fergie, because he'll do stuff like that. The dark arts, if you will. He would, after a game, even if we lost 1-0 or something like that, he'll come out and say, dude, that ref was terrible. And then he'll start going on about the ref and not the performance or whatever the case was. So I think Ten Hag could be a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Cynical as far as that part of his management. But I think minus delaying to bring Sabitzer on, I think Ten Hag has essentially been faultless. I think today we learned a lot about him as well as making in-game adjustments. Because I think under Oli and some of the other man, if we were under pressure the way we were in the second half, it's a long day. But today, the subs that he made essentially killed the game again, which is great to see.
Yes, Sabitzer definitely. Pav, listen, mate, thanks for coming on.
Just before I go, Terry, people are like calling Casemiro a disgrace, a cheat, he's always been a dirty player. You do realise it's his first red card in his career in league football. You man are here calling him a dirty player, bruv. Go check your facts on him, bro. The man's 30 and it's his first red, in league football or whatever it is.
There we
go. But yeah, anything to fit you all lot's narratives out there, innit? But still.
There we go.
Cheers for having me on anyway, man.
Cheers, mate. Speak soon, bro. Thank you very much indeed.